Oh, I really had to pee. I don't know where I'm going. This is like when I was in Korea. I rode my bicycle. I said, "Oh, I don't know where I am. I'm way north here." I mean, if I approach the demilitarized zone, pretty sure I'll recognize one. Of course, it doesn't apply to me. Borders don't apply to me because of my ecocentric worldview. I'm not going to argue or be imprisoned. I'm going to say, "Ooh, just curious. Take it easy. I'm from Earth. I can go anywhere on Earth because my behavior is good. But if you don't believe that, sure. I'm not going to wait for your bad behavior." And, oh, I really had to pee. And I've been drinking some prune juice. So I'm glad I only had to pee. um, but yeah, I did more than 50 kilometers here. I'm going to turn around. Didn't bring anything to drink, really. And it's risky in case something, because I have been working on my bike, in case something goes wrong. I mean, there's people going through the road and a few kind of wave, and I don't know them. But as I approach this Doris Lake here, the truck drivers seem to be less considerate of others. So I didn't even go to the toilet. I just stopped before on the left in the shade and peed. I wanted to say about the human condition, because if I talk about being a minimalist and people say something like, "Well, you want us to go back and live in the caves?" Or some might say the trees. And no offense, but you've never left the caves. And what's wrong with trees? And you would actually have a good time. There'd be more singing and laughing and dancing and learning about stuff and friendships of quality if you did that, but I guess that's not important to you. And so, like, for example, if you look at burning coal, and by the way, we didn't invent fire, we didn't invent math, we didn't invent language, communication, we didn't invent a whole bunch of things we think we invented. It was just there, and there was a time when, as a majority, we slightly were able to overcome intellectual laziness and discovered this and went as far as we did. When it comes to fire, discovering fire, and that we're still burning more and more coal as we are getting more and more data from scientists how bad it is, you really think you left the caves and how smart you might have been back then compared to today? So yeah, it's kind of ridiculous that you guys, your view of yourselves as a species has become so disconnected from reality that, I don't call my research in search of the elusive Homo sapien for nothing. So here's something else I want to say about, we're actually devolving ourselves as we fall further and further behind to modernity. And our ability to self-correct makes it that it's too late. It's too late. Now, in times when, let's say, the pyramids were built, do you know how much more collaboration there was, whether there was a system of slavery or not, or beliefs about that pyramid and what it represented? Do you know how much more evolved that proto-society was compared to the one of today that can't collaborate on anything, including saving their own lives and their own kids' generation? Damn, people think I'm just being negative. But if you look at a lot of my videos, do you see that I actually want to introduce a lot of the solutions, and I've dedicated my life to it? A lot of the letters I post prove this, and I can prove your responses as the majority. So if a country, there's plenty of them, give an excuse for burning more coal, well, no offense, but if they burn coal for a high-energy lifestyle, instead of, let's say, the individuals burning coal or what would represent coal, and then they're like criticized for it, well, that's a lot less than if the nation gets into that industry to maintain energy for the benefit of the elites. And these elites also claim at the same time, in the same conferences sometimes, how great and advanced they are in technology, and yet they're burning coal more and more. And you guys think you've left the caves? I think you should leave the caves, because I think you would burn less coal if you did leave the caves and just went and lived in the trees. And you wouldn't burn the trees, you'd have a religion of ecocentrism. I don't want to say the word religion, let's say a spiritual ideology and worldview, where you wouldn't be cutting down or burning so much of that stuff, and you'd be learning that enjoying life is not at all about what you think life is about. If you guys want to challenge me to a public debate on this, if there's anything you disagree with, but first you have to say whether you're against contraception. If you're against contraception, then we're starting this debate where we might never reach the topic of burning coal.